YouTube? This your girl Kanisha again, back with another video on today. And as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, I'll be doing a story time for the first time. And it's actually just a story about how I received my degree, something that I always wanted to pursue, getting a college education. And so one thing I can say is that regardless of what you're going through when you're trying to pursue a career or a goal, there's going to always be someone who doesn't believe in you and believe in the beauty of your dreams. But one thing I would say is that you have to continue to keep going and never give up on your dreams. So when I first started going to school, college, I was 22 years old. So I had been out of school at that time for 9 years. Imagine also now when you're a single parent, so that can be challenging too, because even though you're trying to pursue your dream and go to school, you also have to still make sure your child or children is getting the education and the proper learning that they need as well. So during my journey, it wasn't always easy. Like I say, there was people who never actually believed in me or thought that I would make it as far as I went, because like I say, me being a person that been out of school for so long, my memory wasn't as right where it was supposed to be there. When I was going to school, it actually took me 4 years to graduate from a 2-year community college. And when I was going to school, there was some ups and downs. I even had a teacher, one of my professors, she even compared me to another student, and this student had recently just graduated out of high school. And one thing I would say is that I don't believe in comparison, because you don't compare the sun and the moon, they shine when it's their time. There's one speech that I learned, and I feel like that speech stuck with me, because you can't compare people. Everybody's journey is different. So when I first tried to get in college, it was hard for me to get into because of some paper. Like I say, I'm from Chicago, but I've been living in Memphis since 2006, so that makes 16 years. So when I was going to school, when I tried to first enroll in this particular school that I actually ended up graduating from, I think I listed a school, and they needed documentation to show proof of the grades that I received. So they kind of lacked me from getting into the door that first time. So I said, oh my God, I was so hard on myself, because I really wanted to go back to school due to the jobs at the time I was working, because they was underpaid jobs. So what I ended up doing, I said, you know what, I'm not going to give up. So it took me after that, when I didn't really get the opportunity to get in that door for that school, I just ended up finding another job. So it was like I was working, I probably went through 2 jobs before I actually decided that, you know what, I'm going to try to contact my school that I graduated from to get the proper documentation, because I really want to go back to school. This is a dream for me, because I always wanted to pursue my education, because I always wanted to further my education, because at the time when I graduated out of high school, I went to college in Chicago, but I didn't finish. So that always kind of took a toll on me, because I felt like I had just gave up so fast. And at that time, when you're coming out of high school, you really not for sure exactly what you really want to do. So, you just choose, some people choose going to the workforce. I chose school, but at that time, college was hard for me up there, because at the time I was going to an art school and I couldn't afford to pay for the tuition, because, the school was very expensive. So that kind of what led me to drop out. And then after that, I ended up moving to Memphis. But anyway, getting back to the journey, like I say, the journey wasn't easy. So when I finally decided to get enrolled back at this school, it was 2013. So I was able to to get more into detail. I was able to contact my high school that I went to. They was able to send me the information down into Memphis. And so that was a blessing right there, because I'm like, that's a start now. So I could finally get into school now, since I got the proper paperwork that the school needed from the beginning. So I was able to get enrolled in. So I started, when I first started, I had to take I had to take 4 classes in order to get enrolled into the program that I was going for. And so I had to take a math, an English, I forgot what other 2 courses it was, because when you go into college, you're not going to just automatically start into the classes that's in the field that you're studying unless you pass the well, you have to take your main courses like your math, English, science, and those main courses. So I was finally able to get in school. And so, like I say, as I was going through my journey in school, it wasn't easy. Like I say, what I struggled most with was math. Math is kind of what kept me kind of in the behind a little bit, because I could never get that math straight. Math always have been one of my worst subjects, even in elementary school, high school math. So what I would do, I would constantly stay after school, get the proper help, proper tutoring. So during my journey, what I enjoyed doing, because I was enrolled in the nutrition program, which they call the dietech technician. And so going through the program, it was fun because I had to do internships. I was sent to different places, different hospital settings, nursing homes, to learn the on-hands training. So like I say, the school that I went to, which is Southwest Tennessee Community College, is really a great school. And most people, like I even had someone one time was telling me, "You go to Southwest, that's a hood school." But like I say, it doesn't matter where you come from; it's where you're going. And to me, when you're trying to better yourself and your future, you're going to do what you can to get to that point. So my thing is, like I say, me, because I grew up from the west side of Chicago, and I went to a school that a lot of people consider the bad school, but I was able to graduate. So my thing is, you're going to have people who don't believe in you as you're going through this journey and the process. So anyway, I'm sorry, I know I'm just jumping all over the place. But yeah, going through school, I was struggling a little bit because at the same time I was trying to work a part-time job, which was kind of hard, trying to work, go to school, and on top of that be a mom to my daughter. But one thing I thank God for is that my daughter, Grace, she always been an honor roll student, even to this day. As she's in 9th grade right now. She's 14, but when she was in school, when I was going to school, she was a little younger. But her grades always stayed on point. So that's one thing I can say I'm a proud mom of, is that her grades never lack, regardless of what what I was battling with trying to pursue my dream, get my education. So it took me, like I said, 4 years to graduate because of the math class. So I would stay every single day after school and get the tutoring that I need in order to graduate. But one thing what happened with me that I was finally able, so my next semester I was able to get into take my nutrition classes, which I was happy about, because like I say, this was a good field, you all. When I say I learned so much and have met some amazing people, I even got offered a job position at one of my internship facilities, but at the time I had to turn it down because I was trying to, just stay focused fully on school. But I was actually taking I was going through work study. So you all know work study is a little program that they have for you when you when you're in college. So students that want to make a little money on the side. So that kind of helped me out a little bit while I was going to school, because my goal was, I was just so determined to get this degree. I really wanted to get my degree because I got tired of the underpaid jobs that I was working. So when I think it was my third semester, I ended up in one of my classes. I had the perfect honor roll. Like, I had good grades. I think I had like 2 A's, 1 B, and a D. And so in nutrition, in some areas, some places a D would be considered passing, but I was kind of hard on myself. I would have been better if it would have been a C. But they had to remove me from the program until I brought that grade up. And so I felt bad because, I was struggling a little bit in that area. I don't know why did I receive a D, and I kept doing, my homework, my studies. So my instructor, she was real sweet. She worked with me. She told me to just, retake the course over. I had to retake that particular class over. So the next semester, I had to take the course over, and then I passed it. So in order for me to get back into the program, because see, when you enrolled in the nutrition program there, you have to be on the honor roll. So that was good that I was able to pass that class. I brought that D up to a B. So to make a long story short, I was finally able to get back into that class, and I was finally able to get back into the program. So I was doing amazing. Like I say, my grades was on point. It was good. So I would say my senior year is what really I struggled the most with in college. Now, I had already took mostly all my, I had already passed all my main courses in the nutrition program. So it's like those courses was finished. Only thing that I had to focus on was the math. Now, they wouldn't let me walk until I finished math. And now when I was my senior year, I had to take 2 math courses. Now I just told you all math was my worst subject. Now imagine I had to take 2 hard math classes. I had to take a statistics class and the fundamentals of algebra class. And when I say statistics is hard, I mean, I couldn't get it. I said to myself, it was really hard. So what I would do every single day was stay after school, get the help I need. I would take so many notes because all their classes, even though I was present in the building, you still have to be, even though I was present in class, their courses was online. So even though I was in class, I had to still take my classes on the computer in the school. So one thing I like about how they had their setup with it, if you would miss when they grade you and you miss like a test, if you keep taking the test and you don't pass it, you had 3 attempts. So the teacher would keep going back in and have to, let me take it, because you have to make the passing grade for to take the online math was like a C. I think I had to take the test 3 attempts. I had got 3 attempts, and then he had to go back in and restart it over so I can get it. So the final semester of that course, I ended up passing with a C. So I had to take 2 classes. So the other math class, I would also stay out after school as well. What I would do, I was taking down many notes. I would study those notes. Sometimes I even bought flashcards so it can help me better to learn. Because, see, I'm more of a learner. Some people can learn from memory. And some people can learn from just visual learning. So I consider myself more of a memory learner. If I can just look at something or remember how the setup is, I probably can take that same technique and study it more and then figure out how to solve the problem. So my second semester, not my second semester. I'm sorry, you all. I'm just so excited to share my story. But the second math class, so after the end of that particular semester, I was able to pass that course, and I got a P. So one math class I got, it was letter grade, and the other one was either pass or fail. So with both math classes, I had 1 P and 1 B. And when I say you all, I was so happy and proud of myself, because I know the journey wasn't easy for me to pass that course, especially doing math, and that's my worst subject ever. So on March the 13th, I'll never forget my graduation day. For March the 13th, I was one out of 1,300 some students to walk across the stage and receive their, I got an applied associate degree in dietech technician. And when I say I was so proud of myself, when I walked across that stage, I was just so happy. I was too happy to be sharing tears. But one thing I'm here to say is never give up on your dreams, regardless of what people might say. Sometimes it can be. Okay, you all. So on March 13, 2017, I was one out of 1,300 some students to walk across the stage from Southwest Tennessee Community College. And I was just so proud of myself at that time for receiving that degree and knowing that I was able to pursue my dream and get and accomplish that goal. Okay, YouTube, but yeah, I'm just here to say, regardless of what people might think about, when you're going through a stormy or situation and you're trying to pursue a goal, never give up on your dream. When I walked across that stage, I was so proud of myself, and I showed a lot of people who didn't believe in me that I can do this, that I got this. So I'm here to say, never give up on your dreams. No matter how hard it might no matter how hard it might be, never ever give up on your dreams. Because imagine, and we all know it's not easy, especially when you being a single mother or a single parent in general, and you don't have that support system, someone to kind of push you through. still trust and believe that you can do it. I had to tell myself, Nisha, you got this. Because, I mean, it was plenty of times when I kept, not doing so well in my courses that I didn't, wanted to finish. I was like, oh, maybe, this is not for me. The devil, because like I say, he's busy. He'll try to feed your mind and make you think that you can't do it. But never give up on your dreams, you all, because you can be anything that you want to be. Never let someone predict anything negative into your head and make you think that you can't pursue something because of a storm you might be going through or finances or whatever. Because like I say, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And me personally, graduating and getting my degree showed me that anything that I want to do in my life or any other goals that I want to pursue, which I do have more goals, I can do it. If it took me 4 years, to graduate from a 2-year community course. And one thing I learned is that you just have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. One thing I kind of beat myself up about, I kind of wish I would have went more into taking a computer course. My great-grandmother always told me that, to continue when you do go to school or whatever, one thing I advise you to do is take a computer class, because everything going to be going back to technology. And she's right. And she was right. And I miss her so much. She's, may she continue to rest with the Lord. But I thank her because she actually inspired me too to further my education, because she used to always talk to me as a young girl coming up. But she always told me to take a computer course. So I might end up trying to look around and maybe do some researching online, because computers, it's good to learn the computer, like the way, especially how in this day and time everything is set up, even with it going, applying for job applications and stuff like that. Most now you have to apply online. But when I was in school, because I had already went over my credit hours, because I only needed 61 credits to graduate, and you all know it took me 4 years to graduate, so I think I had like 70-some credit hours, so I knew that I wasn't going to be able to take a computer course, because I actually, at that time, I was on a financial aid. They had to pay for my schooling, so my funds was running out, because when they paying for your education, they probably, you get a certain amount of funds to cover your education as well as your books. But I'm just here, you all. I'm proud. I'm proud of myself. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. So whatever dream you desire to do, whether it's go back to school, whatever you desire to do, don't give up. Don't let the negative naysayers stop you from believing in yourself and believing in your dreams, because you can accomplish and succeed at whatever you desire to do. So I'm just here to say, continue to trust and believe in God, and know that He will make a way for you regardless of what people might say. Because one thing I'm learning, and even as an adult myself, we can't stop people from talking. That's something they're going to do. But you just keep doing what God has called you to do, and continue to follow your dreams regardless of what someone might say. So I thank you all for listening to my story time. I hope this might inspire somebody. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel. And you all have a great one. Bye-bye.